Thinking about moving to Chicago, here are 5 things you absolutely must know before packing your bags for 2025. I'm Gui Vasconcelos, I'm your go-to realtor here in Chicago. If you're looking to buy your first home, sell your property, or maybe explore luxury rentals, send me a message or set up a time to talk to me using the link below. So now let's talk about the 5 things you must know about Chicago. I absolutely love Chicago, but of course there are a few things that are not perfect here. So I'm gonna cover 5 points so you can decide if moving to Chicago it's gonna be the best move for you in 2025. Let's do it. So the first thing for us to talk about here is cost of living. And for cost of living, there are a few main points that are taken consideration. The first one is real estate, and then transportation, taxes, and groceries. When we talk about real estate, if you were looking to buy a property in New York, you were looking at an average of over $900,000. In San Francisco, you were looking at over $1,300,000. And in Chicago, you were looking at around like $560,000. So it's much more affordable. Also, if you're looking to rent a property, usually Chicago tends to be 50% cheaper on average than those other major cities. Especially if you're looking at like a nice place, considering like similar styles of apartments, it definitely has like a big difference. So that makes Chicago much more affordable. In terms of transportation, honestly, everything is very similar. For you to get like a Ventra card in Chicago, that would be your unlimited passes. It's a very similar price as New York or San Francisco. You are looking at anywhere between like $75 and $95, so it's not a major difference. Parking in Chicago can be a little bit more expensive. You are looking around like maybe $350 or $300, especially if you're looking like downtown Chicago in those more populated locations. And in terms of groceries, it's also very comparable with those other major cities, but more expensive than the average United States city. Second thing, it's about the weather. I mean, today I'm here. If you follow me, you know I have like a very nice view, lake view. I love that. However, today you can see it's everything like very white. It's raining here. So it's a perfect day to talk about like weather consideration in Chicago. The winters here, they are brutal. It gets like very cold. We don't get as much snow, but it's definitely something that not everyone likes. So especially like if you're looking for like a property here in Chicago, considering the winter, there are a few things that you should consider, like your heating system, like the lack of natural light. So there are like a few things that make the winter in Chicago very particular. A lot of people also during that season of the year, they get a little bit like depressed because we don't get as much natural light. So it's definitely like an adjustment, and I know it doesn't work for everyone. However, since we have such like a brutal winter, that makes summer so much fun. Chicago during summer, it's the best city in the whole world. Everyone goes out, everyone is on the street festivals, by the lake. Everyone in Chicago during summer have like a very, very good time. And honestly, I believe it's because we have such a strong and brutal winter that makes summer much more appreciated. Third thing that I want to talk to you, it's about transportation. Chicago transportation, it's probably one of the best in the whole world. The CTA trains, the buses, they are very reliable. You have like a lot of lines that can take you like straight to downtown, straight to the airport. So it's a very good city if you are looking for a good public transportation system. It's also a very walkable city. The neighborhoods here, it's very easy for you like to go around. You have like everything like super easy. So honestly in Chicago, if you don't want to have a car, you don't have to. Unless you love driving and all that good stuff, but you definitely don't need a car. If I wasn't in real estate, honestly, I don't think I'd buy a car. I didn't really need that before I joined real estate, but now of course I do. Chicago also has like several bike lanes, so if you like to bike, like biking around the city, like by the lake or to go to downtown, to go in between neighborhoods, it's definitely like a very good option, like a good city for that. You have like lots of bike lanes. If you look in terms of like parking, as I said before, that can be a little bit costly. And if you're looking to park your car on the streets, please put parking, because Chicago, it's very, you can get a ticket very easily here. There is like a lot of like people checking to see if you have your parking. Usually if you get your car, like your parking expired for like 10 minutes, you're already gonna have a ticket. So please pay attention to that. I don't want you to get a ticket here. Fourth thing for you to consider, and you must know about Chicago, it's probably one of like my favorite things. You have a lot of like entertainment options, restaurants, cultural options. So first, talking about restaurants, I truly believe that Chicago could be like the main point for like restaurants here in the United States. We have like an option for everyone. You have like from fine dining, you have like several options. If you want something just more like casual, you have that. It's a lot of like great bars. And in Chicago, you're not sure if you're aware of that, but we have like the Futon markets and the restaurant row. Both are like in the West Loop area, and you have like so many good restaurants. I spend a lot of like my time there, but the good restaurants, they are not only in this location. You have awesome restaurants right on like Lincoln Park, including some of my favorite restaurants like Mon Ami Gabi, Café Babariba. You also have like awesome places in Gold Coast, like Adolina, Gibson's. So Chicago, in terms of like restaurants, it's so good. In terms of like entertainment options, in Chicago, you have something to do every single day. Of course, you do have more things to do during summer. You have like lots of street festivals. You can go by the lake. You have like food festivals. You have an option to do every single day and multiple times per day if you want to. If you want to do like 5 things in one day in Chicago during summer, you sure can. However, during winter, the city is very much prepared for winter, so we still have a lot of things to do. You have like ice skating, you have like bowling, you have like festivals, you have great concerts here in Chicago. So you definitely have like several options. And talking about festivals and music, for you that loves music, Chicago hosts the Lollapalooza. It's so much fun. We also have like several other festivals, mostly like during summer and fall. So if you love music, Chicago can be a very good place for you. Last but not least, are like the Chicago neighborhoods. Every neighborhood has a completely different vibe. So maybe if we're moving from New York, we have kind of like a Brooklyn neighborhood here in Chicago. If you like something very fancy like Manhattan, we do have that here in Chicago. So I'll talk to you about like a few neighborhoods that I really like and a little bit of their different vibes. So the first one is Lincoln Park. It's maybe one of the most expensive neighborhoods in the city. It's where like locals in Chicago, they like to live. First, because you have like lots of green areas, you have tons of entertainment, you have the Lincoln Park itself that gives the name to the neighborhood. So you definitely have like a lot of things to do, but especially that like nice neighborhoody vibe. And primarily, it's also very close to downtown Chicago. So if you need to commute there, it's gonna be very good. River North. If you're like a city person, a city girl, city boy, it's honestly a very good place. You have awesome restaurants, you have bars, so if you wanna go to clubs, River North, it's definitely the way for you to go. You have like very modern high rises, so you definitely can have like a very good time in River North. Do you have questions about living to Chicago or curiosities about the real estate here? Drop your questions here on the comments below. I would love to answer them and connect with you. Also, feel free to set up a time on my calendar if you're looking for real estate information here in Chicago, looking to buy your condo, sell your property, or rent a luxury apartment. I'd love to help you out. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can keep updated with all the Chicago tips I have to share with you. Bye, I'll see you next time.